Guys, great to have you all come back and kick off the second half of the season. So I just want to touch on Jim Earl, so you know exactly what's going on. And this is from Jim. Special thank you to all panel and club umpires and umpired the JG Craig under 15 home away games over the past 2 weeks. Congratulations to the 8 umpires selected to umpire the quarter-finals. Sayan Fernando, new this season. Peter Frencham, Patrick Matthews, Stephen O'Connell, Michael Moss, new this season. Glenn Ruger, new this season. David Stein and Frank Stokes. Now, it was really funny when I rang Jim when he sent this through and said, would you mind giving this in? I said, yeah mate. So he flicked me an email. He's actually acting as a nurse because his wife Barbara, who's very polite to everybody on the phone. She is, no, she's very good. She's been painted as a bit of an ogre, she's not, she's lovely. But she had to have a minor operation, so Jim said that he had to stay home and monitor her for 24 hours under strict nurse instructions, so he's playing nurse. And he's delighted to be playing doctor and nurse for the first time in my life. But anyway, that's another thing. And also congratulations on 4 umpires selected for the semi-finals for the JG Craig. Peter Frencham, Patrick Matthews, Michael Moss and Glenn Ruger. Country week appointments will be sent out around the 12th of February. Finals availability sheets will be sent to all panel umpires next week. Finals for all 11s are played on Saturday and Sunday. So please make sure to try and make yourself available, which is really important. The finals panel of umpires will be selected by the umpires committee after the completion of round 12, which is standard, which happens every year. Now, but I'll reinforce that round 13 is still taken into account. It's not just discarded that you can go around 13 and say, well, they're going to pick me after 12 rounds and today doesn't matter. That's not the case. So it still counts. It'll count a little bit later down the track after the draft of what's happening with the finals appointment. So that's from Jim Earl, and he wishes everybody all the best.
I think I'm following on that one too. If there's any unavailabilities, because the book isn't here tonight, please email Jim and let him know of your unavailabilities so that he can work out the rest of the season.
Okay, now I did say right at the start it's important to bring pen and paper to all these sessions, so I hope everyone's got a pen, because you should have one, because I want you to do a little exercise. Now let me explain to you why we're doing this exercise, and it's on no balls, which the first and second year guys have done. So I want you to put your name on it and put a comment next to each one. You'll see the sheet where it's got feet on where the bowls will bowl from, and you are to write down whether you do that to be a no ball or not. It's amazing the feedback I'm getting from captains who are telling me umpires are not picking up no balls. So maybe we're not sure, we're not really 100% sure what is or isn't a no ball. So if you wouldn't mind, you've got it then, take that and pass it around. You guys take that over there and pass them around. Please put your name on the top and hand them around. Yeah, no, I've got plenty. So, I'll just move you out over here. Yeah, there should be enough to go around. Has everyone got one?
No, we're one short up here.
One short?
Very short.
One short over there. Please put your name on the top and just right next to it. Is that a no ball? It's not a no ball.
Take right to New Zealand.
No, we're not doing one short.
What if you actually can't see it rather than just know the rules? What if you actually can't see it? Is that one leg's cutting off the line?
You can't pay what you don't see.
So if you miss it and you get abused, there's a leg in the way.
What do you mean? You mean they're putting the foot down, you can't see it?
One foot down, the other foot is behind it. Such a way you can't see the front foot, the other foot is coming through.
Maybe you move to the side now.
You go to the leg.
Hang on, guys. Keep it down. Just concentrate on that, please. Yeah, yeah. As you finished them and you got your name on it, you can hand them back. Thanks. You should have done it before, Warren, haven't you? Oh, you did. Come on, you book.
Hey, what do you want, a ticket across or what?
I'll tick them.
Hey, you want a ticket across or what?
Where do you give it to the chairman? How do you no ball? You don't know ball. If you think it's a no ball ticket, it's not a no ball. Whatever you want to do, as long as I can decipher it. You can just will highlight to me whether you know or you don't know. Anyone else? Thank you, Colin. Come on, Dave, you should know your ball enough to know balls from your career. Yeah, I know. You know ball, you used to crack it, mate, I tell you. All in? Come on, ball, Tara. And if you got them all correct, you won't hear from me. If you did make an error mistake, you will hear from me. I expect you to get them all right, Lucky. Come on, Gary, make a decision, mate. Game's nearly over. Don't get helping in, Gary. Come on.
You can't tell when the line's been spread on.
Thank you, Stephen.
Benny, can we work on the Mark Taylor principle? There's no real advantage, so the no ball shouldn't be called. The no real advantage rule.
No advantage, you just let it go.
Interpretation.
Let it go. Yeah. Give it out, Collins rule, isn't it?
Yeah, until he nicks one, then it's given out.
Right, let's move it down, Guys, I'm really surprised with the guys up the back who are really struggling with this. What's going on?
Gotta sharpen their brain.
We're talking about umpires who've been umpiring for some years, so... Yeah, it's interesting. I might be making a few phone calls.
One borrow.
Are you still doing yours, Brian?
No. I'm waiting for your answer.
No, I'm not giving answers now. I'm going to check it. No, I'm not going to do answers now. No, I'll keep you all this. Come on, Gary. Let's go. All done? Okay. It's John Ryan and Gary Barton. Good combination there. Very lot of experience, John. Oh, yes, we are. Okay, here's a question for you. Need to pay close attention to this. If during a match a player aggravates an injury sustained before the match, okay, so in the warm-up. So if during the match a player aggravates an injury sustained before the match, you get what I'm saying? Yes. So in the warm-up, he's injured himself and aggravates it in the match, okay? Should the umpires regard this as an injury during the current match, qualifying him for a runner and or a substitute?
Yes. Who's to prove he did it in the warm-up?
Yeah, he did it in the warm-up, thought it'd be okay. Well, you might have been told, you might have noticed it, but you're aware of it, and then during the game, he aggravates it. Then all of a sudden the captain comes and says, listen, when he bats, we want to have a runner, or we want to have a substitute. What would you do? Alright, well let me give you the full answer. Since umpires, unless you are a medical officer, and some of you may be, have no special medical expertise, They must assume that if a player is nominated, he is fit to play. Accordingly, if his condition worsens, the substitute runner can be allowed. If there are any evidence of sharp practice, in other words, he's fetching it. At that time, allowed this would be a matter of fraction under Law 42. Right? So it happened a few weeks ago, actually again just before Christmas, where this occurred. So, and I got a call from one of the umpires who said, to be honest with you, I didn't know what to do. Okay, that's fine, these things happen. So it's about, making sure that we're on top of it. Unless you're a doctor, you can't adjudicate whether he's, done it deliberately, not deliberately, hasn't got it, has got it. So you go on, as again, the evidence is presented to you. So some hands go up. Yes.
I raised this in a game that I had, and in the secret competition where I umpired previously, as a result of something like that, the clubs were requested to paint white lines extending out at about where the umpire stood, either at square leg or point, so that you could judge where the runner was in terms of being a run out. At some district clubs, since I've joined the panel, no clubs have got the painted lines. So the question behoves itself as an extension to the runner, if a runner is granted. How do we go about marking lines other than getting best guess?
More times than not, how many times would you have a runner in a game?
Once or twice a year.
Maybe. I haven't had one for 8 years, so you might not get them. So, and we're talking community cricket where clubs don't have the facilities and the curators to go marking lines, preparation like they do at Premier level, district level, whatever. So all you can do is make sure that you're in a position to make sure that where that non-striker
The player puts it back there and digs
correct.
it off.
Yeah. More times than not, what do you see? You see the batsman, the runner,
That's right.
scrape a line in the dirt or whatever. Just go and work with him again. You've got sprigs. That's what I do. I won't get too carried away about it.
I usually ask you as square leg or point to position before.
Yeah, correct. And you help them out. It's we're talking about this. Pass it around. Thanks.
I think we'll stop there again.
Sorry, Gary.
What you're saying is that allowed to run, and it's got nothing to do with those two turkeys you built in the side.
Yeah, well, that's in the laws of cricket now.
Well, they think that they still think that
Yeah.
He didn't ask me if we could have a runner or work with shit. We don't ask about it.
No,
You're a dickhead. You're
But-
that's all.
but as a courtesy, I always believe in being transparent and communicate. You let the captain know that this player's going to require a runner, and we've granted permission for that player to have a runner. End of story. And the only person then they can answer is you, and you handle it appropriately.
And out it comes.
Yeah. Guys, what a lot of you would have seen in your half-year reports was a number of comments from me about concentration. A few of you would have had those comments. So, talking to captains, there's been a number. You haven't got that, Bill?
No, we haven't got it. Here with the last.
Not enough.
There's another one over there.
Some more?
We're not bloody
Yeah. Trust me, I've got more. There you go. Who needs one?
He can read, I can write. Right?
Who else needs one?
One can see, one can hear.
Anyone else? All good? One of the things that I think can help you is a sheet that I devised some years ago, and it's double-sided. And it talks there about these are the times when concentration lapses occur most in cricket. Now, it's really hard for an umpire to concentrate 100% of the time, and when we go to square leg, we can switch off a little bit and switch back on. But it's really important. This is designed to help you. There'll be some things here that you might not have thought of, or might not even be aware of, that just might help you to be able to concentrate when it's really needed most. Because it's difficult to concentrate 100% of the time for the whole match. It's really difficult, square leg and things like that. So this is what this is all about. In round 6 or 7, when I was umpiring, first ball of the match, there's a huge appeal for LBW. Very first ball, all of a sudden you go, wow, like you've got to be switched on, anything can happen. So really important. So that's designed to help you with some points about concentration. So it's not the be end and end all, but it's just some pointers of things that happen and the most likely times when it's going to occur.
I agree with the one in the back says numbers 9, 10, 11, batsmen got to, that happen to me every week. I'm giving out beer o'clock, mate, you're out.
Now, is anyone in the room, I'm not sure 100%, got the interruption for play for a 2-day game or 1-day game, the matrix flow chart? Have you seen that before? Who has not got it? Okay, let me give that out for those that haven't got it. So 2 days on one side and 1 day on the other side. Okay, which will help you. Anyone else? Yeah, normally. Oh, well, yeah, but we may not have it. We may have it, we may not. I don't know. Won't hurt if you feel it again. It might well be. Now, guys, again, this is a flow chart to be able to help you to be able to, follow a pattern. And it gives you what happens if this happens, go to this, no, yes, no, yes, no. And it's pretty simple. But it's important to study it and remember it. Because it helps. And if you know, for example, it's going to be wet weather on a particular day, you're going to we're going to have some rain today. Really important to get that out, make sure it's with you, have a read of it before the game and reinforce it, and it'll just help you to understand and clear it. Now, Johnny Dawg spoke before about the handbook, and there's some certain things in there. Dr. Hart spoke about the weather, the heat policy, etc. So we're going to be looking at all those things to try and do exactly what we can for all our members, including club umpires, to be able to streamline it, to make it simpler, if we possibly can, so that every umpire understands what they have to do on a wet day, a hot day, or whatever it might be. So we're working on it. It's a work in progress. So bear with us. We're certainly going to address some of those areas which have created a little bit of angst for some umpires. The other thing I wanted to talk about, this will be the last one from me. It's come to my attention by clubs, and what's happened is, for some reason, we as umpires, if we think it's very obvious and we think the batsman should walk, we're not making decisions. So there's an appeal, I'm standing there waiting for the player to walk, he knows he's out, pretty obvious, but he doesn't walk, or he's, hanging around, knows he's out but not walking. What that's portraying is that players are saying to me, captains are saying to me, we're not sure the umpire knows exactly whether it's out or not. They're hesitant. So we don't know what they're doing. So what I'm encouraging to do, whether it's very, very obvious or not, put your finger up and give them out. Don't have that expectation that they're going to walk. If you know it's out, it doesn't matter how obvious it is, put your finger up. That's our job. So let's make sure that we do that. Because we want to instill the confidence from the players and the coach or whoever's watching the game that we as umpires know exactly when a player's out or not out. Because if you don't make that decision and you're not sure and they're not sure to walk, then all of a sudden you put your finger up after, hey, he wasn't bloody sure, he's talked into it. And that's when the captain will slam you in his report. He was conned by the team and they appealed and eventually you gave him out when it was very obvious. So they're very quick to jump on you in a negative sense. So let's make sure, whether it's very obvious, not obvious, let's make sure we put a finger up and give them out. Go your 1, 2, 3 and make the decision. If they've already started walking after 1, 2 in your mind, they're already walking, and they've walked in their way, I get it if you don't put your finger up. But for me, I still put it up. All right, so everyone knows you made a decision. Okay, is that clear? The other one is the overrates. There's a number of us that are not communicating with captains. Now, some captains may not want you to, but I recommend that after the first hour, you'll start to get a bit of a feel. On average, in our competition, certainly in 2-day games, they should be bowling in the first hour between 16 and 17 approximate overs per hour. Now, at tea, or by drinks, they should be around that 21, 22, 23 mark, and by tea, it should be around 41, 42 on average. What's happening is, because after the first hour we're not communicating, come the drinks break, we're not communicating. Come tea, that's when we're going, hang on, they've only got 38 overs. So they're going to all the captain, going, oh bloody hell. You know, some captains concentrating, whatever. My recommendation is, after the first hour, just say to the skipper, listen skipper, you're right on the mark, 16 overs an hour, well done, keep it up. That's the time frame that we look at. You give a bit of praise. And when you go to drinks, you can reinforce that. Gee, skipper, you're doing really well today, you're up. Or, if they've dropped 1 or 2 overs, just say, letting you know, you're about an over and a half, maybe 2 overs behind, just so you're aware. Not that you tell them to hurry up, you do it in a nice way, just letting you know you're aware. You've put him on notice. You've told the captain, but make sure you communicate between yourselves as well. You know, got the overs right, check the scoreboard, yes, it's only 30, whatever it is, at drinks break or whatever it is. So do those things in the first hour, at drinks and at tea, and reinforce. That way, when it comes to the end of the day and all of a sudden the team who's batting's only 2 wickets down, and they're starting to hit 4s and 6s and the ball's coming in delayed, they know where the over rate is. And they're able to adjust accordingly and get things going. Because a lot of times after tea, who comes on the bowl? Spinner. You know, try and get through the overs. A lot of clubs feel that, you know, we're a little bit behind the over rate, but we've got a spinner. You know, we'll be right. Doesn't always just quite work
They
that
get
way.
smashed in the first over, doesn't bowl.
Yeah, all of a sudden, yeah, 3 6s or whatever. So, could I encourage you to do those 2 things? Because it's really important for our professionalism and also communicating with the club so they know we're on top of our game and performances.
And also being the batters.
Yeah.
You know, the batters should be ready when the bowl's at the top of his mark.
Yeah, all the fielders are in place
Yeah,
and the
the
ball's at the top of the mark and the batsmen are not. Just say quiet. And can I ask it, please? Do not yell out. Do not. I don't want umpires yelling out down there to the keeper or the skipper at bloody gully or whatever. You've got something to say. Just sort of skipper, can I see you for a minute? Motion, have a chat. We do it as umpires. We say, after the end, we have a chat. We communicate. We signal. So let's do the same thing with the captains. Skipper, can I see you for a minute? We don't want to be doing. We already heard from Dr. Hart about being the second tier to the best competition. So let's not act like we're in park cricket. Now let's be professional about what we do. And then make sure we speak to people, captains, players, exactly how we'd like to be spoken to. Now, if I ask you to do that, would be fantastic. All right? Guys, thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of the night. Good luck for the rest of the season. Thank you.